Hello, Patrick here. Today I would like to talk about my new guitar. I have this guitar for 1 month. It's Martin SC13E Special. I know this guitar is almost 3 years on the market, this new body shape, and there are lots of videos about this instrument, but I would like to share my view on this instrument. It will be a little bit longer video, so maybe you can grab your coffee or tea or whatever and sit down and relax. I will of course repeat a lot of information that is already available on Martin page or is available in other videos, but I will also share some thoughts what I have about 1 month with this guitar. On the top, in special version, we have spruce, not Sitka spruce like you can find in 10E version, so the lower one. This is a spruce. On the back and the sides, we have something called fine veneer. And between veneer we have piece of wood, so it's like layers. So here you can see beautiful ziri coat. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it's ziri coat, beautiful wood. You can see it here, really nice. It's looking really good. And between those layers we can have something different. I tried to find something, but the only thing I found on some kind of forums was kaya, which means it's like African mahogany. So yeah, let's say that it's this material. Our bridge is created from ebony. Our neck is something that they called select hardwood. So in the description on Martin page you will see select hardwood, and I was searching internet what this can mean. It can mean that there is a hardwood here, so solid wood, but we do not know which exactly. What I found, it can be Spanish cedar or mahogany or sipo, maybe sipo. So we don't know. It's probably because of what they currently have on stock and what they use. You never know, maybe they're out of something and they are using different type of material. For me, there's no difference. I tested 3 guitars, 3 the same guitars, SC13E Special, and this one was playing the best. So it's not like those two were very bad, but for me personally, it's something I was searching. This guitar sounds great. So at this moment, I don't really care what they used. It sounds good. Fingerboard, we have ebony. Head plate here, so this part is also glued, it's added here to the head. We have also ebony, and we have tuning machines which are called ratio nickel open gear, and I will talk about this a little bit more in a moment. Electronics, LR-Box element. The version 10 has Fishman, I don't remember which one, so it's slightly different. There is no tuner here, but the quality of the electronics is very good. I'm really happy. It's much better than in my previous Martin guitar from Mexico. Of course, the price difference is also different, but price difference is different. Okay, there is a difference in price. So at this moment, I tested this, and the line sounds really good. It's really acceptable for me. I like it. I will use it for sure on my concerts. I have my Bose RC600. Where I will be mixing the microphone, which I'm still waiting for, and my line to get the best sound, to get the best proportion of line and the mic from my instrument. I will use this guitar also in studio, where I expect to have maybe 2 mics and 1 line, so the line is fully acceptable. And this is about the components. We have scale, which is 25.4 inch, which is 64.51 centimeters. I live in the country where we have centimeters. With it's much easier for me to think how much it is. It's full scale. It's not like the smaller one. It's full scale like you have in D shape. I also have Martin guitar with D shape, and I really like the D shape. It's a longer scale. Of course, for me, maybe I don't have too long fingers. It would be easier to play with the shorter scale, but I decided to use it like this, so it's working for me fine. And now let's talk about the new technology, which is quite interesting. And I watched almost every video on YouTube available about this guitar before I purchased it. I also saw the guitar in the shop in in my city. There is also one which is custom shop, SC CS2022, I believe. Beautiful guitar with a lot of technology and things which you will not find here. Beautiful guitar. And I was really surprised that guitar can be shaped like this and sound in a way that I really like it. So with the new features, let's start from the body. And first one is the S shape. It was tested. They built 30 prototypes minimum. This is something unusual. You can find this information on official Martin channel. Generally, they say that normally they build like 5-6 prototypes. Here they built 30. This means they were really searching for the best sound. And this body shape is feedback proven. So this means on stage this guitar should perform much better than other guitars. At this moment I didn't play any concert. I'm still waiting. Now I'm in the phase of producing music. So in 2 months I will start playing more live. So I will test this guitar on different stages, in different places, and we will see how good it is regarding the feedback. I never had issue with feedback on stage with my previous guitar. Sometimes I use the ear monitoring system. This also helps in this case. So let's see. I believe Martin. I saw that on the video, the official video about production of this guitar. They were also testing it with some kind of devices where they see where the body is vibrating the most, which is very interesting. And they selected the best body shape. The new thing also, I will try to show you this, is the bracing system. They have X brace system on the back of the guitar. You can see it here, and also on the top, which is very, very interesting to see it in the guitar. We have new bridge shape, which is user-friendly. They say many people complain about the previous bridges because they were sharp. They somehow didn't feel comfortable with muting the strings. This one is very cool. To be honest, I do not mute too much, so I never noticed, anything uncomfortable on my previous Martin guitar. But it's good. It's brand new, so you see you have so many new things in this guitar. We have bracing, which is also from Spruce, and now we have new pickguard, which is also new shape for Martin. So it's also very cool. We have new rosette here. It's an iris pattern, like in James Bond movies. There was this intro where the iris was opening and closing. I think it was closing. So this is the iris pattern. Here it's Zericode. Here inlay, I believe this is mother of pearl. I hope so. It's not plastic. Hard to say for me. This when you search for 10E, there are lots of videos. 13E, there are people playing it, not too much talking about the components. So this is another new thing for Martin. And now we need to talk about something which is unusual for acoustic guitars, and we need to talk about how the neck is being connected to the body. And this is something completely unusual. They call it Sure Align Linear Dovetail Neck Joint. So the neck slips from the top of the guitar. It was not like the previous versions, like here. You slip the neck from the top, and you have 2 bolts here to lock the neck, one here and one here, and the neck is locked and you can play on your guitar, which is very unusual. This was probably used previously on electric guitars, not on an acoustic guitar. This gives you also a lot of other things, options, because they thought after years, hundreds of years of producing guitars, and this is what people also discovered, that many acoustic guitars have an issue after a couple of years in this area. Like sometimes it's working differently than the neck. Then you have buzzing on the frets and everything. So this is the first guitar where you can align the neck like this on this angle to the body. There are special shims here which you can replace depending on what you want to achieve. And there is also a screw here to regulate the intonation, which is also very unusual. So you can go like this. You can how to say, level up your neck a little bit that way, so it can be longer scale or shorter for the intonation. So by this screw you will move the neck this way, which is completely unusual and something I believe this is a revolution and something really, really good, because when you glue something and you have no option to change the settings, then you can have issues with intonation, which happens with guitars after some years, and then you need to, you know, try to fix it in other way. This is completely innovative, new way of working with guitar. For me, great. I will observe how this guitar behave after years. So, as you can see, only new things in this guitar. Neck. So here they resign from the heel. It's completely clear here for your fingers. So playing in the higher position is almost as comfortable like on electric guitar, which is very, very nice because there is no heel. So your hand is not stopped here. You don't need to rotate it like this. Now it's very comfortable. They say this is an acoustic guitar for electric guitar players, which, okay, I understand the advertising, but for me, I would say it's an acoustic guitar for everyone, not only for electric guitar players. Neck is also a little bit rotated here. It allows you to play more comfortably here. When you play here, your fingers, you will feel the difference. It's something more natural for your hand. It's a new technology here. And the last new thing here is the, like I said, ratio nickel open gear. I will try to go closer to the camera because you will see that there is different ratio on those open gears. So when you have E6 string here, this is very tiny, you know, like a ratio, small ratio, because if you have guitar at your home, you know that with E6 string, to tune it up, you don't need big moves. When you change the strings, you also are not rotating so many times like with E1 string. So it's very, very cool feature because then you will be very precise with E6 string, which is very difficult on bigger ratio. Bigger ratio is here for E1, where you need, let's say, more to put more pressure on the string or less pressure. Like, sorry, I'm not so good with physics in English, forgive me, I hope you understand. And you know what I'm talking about, where you are tuning guitars, you will feel the difference. So generally there is so much new going on in this guitar, it's really, really amazing. I will create also a separate video with the sound test for you, sound review. We will see how this guitar sounds. This guitar is provided to you with this type of strings, authentic acoustic phosphor bronze lifespan guitars, strings. A very good one. I never used them, and I need to say this guitar was for sure 1 month in a travel, maybe not 1 month in the container shipping, being shipped to Europe. This guitar, those strings, I think now they are more than 2 months on this guitar, and the strings are really, really good. They really sound nice, and I believe this is a nice selection for this guitar. One more thing, I was visiting the music shop in my city yesterday. What I noticed with the, let's say, custom shop guitars from Martin, they add metal pins to the bridge. So what I did yesterday, I went and bought those metal pins, and I will create separate video because I want to replace those plastic pins with those metal ones, and I want to see how this guitar reacts to them. So there will be separate video about just those metal pins, we will check how it affects the guitar, which is very interesting. Also, I have some other strings. I also bought FX strings, 1152, and I have those retro strings. So I will be, next month will be about testing this guitar, changing different strings, listening to the guitar, trying to find the best sound I can get from it. It's very good with the strings we have already, but sometimes it's good to test to see if there can be any change to the instrument. Yesterday I also bought new strap. It's a Martin strap, very high quality. The most important thing is very tight here, so there is less risk of this guitar falling down. The only thing which concerns me about this guitar, there are two things. Like sometimes people use this type of rubber, how to say, blinder, this filler here to reduce the feedback. The electronics control is very high, so I'm not sure if it's working with this type of equipment, and you cannot put strap lock on this guitar, which is, let's say, concerning, because it would be good to protect your guitar, especially when you pay a little bit more for the instrument. There is some kind of adapter I need to check, so only those two things concerns me. Other than this, I think it's a great guitar. So let me play for a moment for you. We will see how this guitar sounds. I will use pick. It's not D-shaped type of, let's say, sound. It's more like 0, 0 or 1, somewhere in the middle between D and O, which I like. I think it's a very nice sound. So generally, to summarize, we have very cool guitar made in Mexico. With my second guitar from Mexico, I need to say that they are very high in quality. I like them. Martin is doing great job in Mexico, so thank you very much for those guitars. Probably my next guitar, if they come up with something maybe like we have solid wood on the back and on the sides in S shape in US, I would for sure buy, because at this moment the difference in price is huge between this model and SC13E. Forgive me if I said this incorrectly. It's almost 4 times in price, difference in price. So for me at this moment, something I need to look into. So maybe there will be something in the middle which will be more affordable, and it will improve the sound quality. Let's see. At this moment, I'm really happy. After 1 month of playing, I believe this is a huge difference for me, and I can hear that my music sounds differently. I can play more piano, more forte. Like, it's a very, very good guitar, and the intonation is superb. I really can play high here. Everything is in tune. Very, very nice instrument. Of course, after a couple of months of using it on stage and in studio, I will make separate review to give you some feedback after, I don't know, 6 months maybe. So stay tuned, and of course in next episodes we will also test those pins. We will check how this guitar sounds on different strings, which is also very interesting to see. And on those type of guitars, you will hear the difference when you change something. They really react to it. We will see how this guitar reacts to those changes I try to apply. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, about this guitar, about my decision. Maybe you also have this type of guitar. Maybe you are thinking about this instrument and this video was helpful for you. So subscribe, comment, like, and see you in the next video where we will be testing more.